Starla. Today I'm going to make chicken noodle soup, and it's my most requested recipe. I don't really have a recipe, so today I'm just going to make it for you and show you how I do it. And if you like it, I hope you try it because I think it's really good. So first, you're going to need some vegetables. You got some carrots, and we use celery, of course, and an onion. And so I'm just going to peel and cut those up and get those into this pan. I already have the chicken going right here behind me. I am using thighs and one breast today. My family prefers dark meat. You can use a whole chicken, or you can use just thighs or just breast or whatever you want. You want to make sure you salt that water. Oh, I forgot to salt the water. You got to make sure you salt the water. That's a very important step, or it doesn't taste good. I put about a tablespoon-ish and some in there. That's how I measure a pinch and a palmful. So we'll show you as we go. I'm just going to hurry and get these done, and I'll be right back with you. And I just slice them chunky. You know, this channel is called Because I'm, trust me, I'm fat. And because I'm fat, we do a lot of things chunky. So, we're going to cut up our vegetables, because I want to know they're there when I eat my food. So we get that started. Now I'm going to season this water because we don't want it to be just water. Ew. So we're going to put some bouillon cubes in. I use bouillon cubes because I prefer them. I do not like the paste stuff that you can buy, but if you like that, use it. I don't see why not. There's no reason why you can't, but make sure you remember what you put in here. So if you're like me and my husband and we're adding up how many calories or whatever, then we can figure that out. So I usually keep my wrappers aside, but since that bag was empty, oh no, this is the powder. Oh well, that changes things. Now I have to measure for reals. 1 teaspoon is the same size as one of those. Okay, good to know. So let's measure, I guess. I don't always measure. So when you ask me about a recipe, I always tell you, well, I just put a handful of this and a handful of this and whatever in. So, but in this, I start with like 5 or 6 of the bouillon cubes, and then you can add more later, but you can't take it out. So start on the lower end. Do that with salt, and do that with, any of the spices really, because once it's in there, that's it. So that'll make 5. And we'll just, interesting. I wasn't paying attention at the store apparently, but it won't hurt anything. So now we've got our bouillon in. This is cayenne pepper. I don't measure. I do pinch and a palmful. So this, I probably would put about that much. See? Not much. Maybe a little more. Yeah, like that. This cayenne pepper is good for you when you're sick. Helps clear all this out. Regular black pepper. I like the coarse black pepper. And then garlic powder, again, about, that looks good, maybe around a teaspoon. Because, you know, I can't take it out, so we're just going to put in what I usually do. About. And salt. Close your eyes, Mom. About like that. Maybe not that much. Maybe that. Because I can't take it back. But I can add more. I can add more later if we need to. So while that's coming to a boil with my lid, where did I put my lid? Let me get my lid. While that's boiling and getting those harder vegetables going, I'm going to peel my potatoes. These are some chunky potatoes. So we're going to maybe only do 2. Let's see if they have bad spots in them and I have to cut out. That might determine if we have 3. Woo, some of these are really thick. Yikes. It's too much. That's all right. We're chunky. So we got chunky vegetables. So those are ready to go in just a few minutes. I'm going to clean this up and then we're going to make some noodles. Now to make homemade noodles, it's really easy. All you need is flour and eggs. Maybe a little water if you get it a little thick. But I usually put 3 or so cups of flour in here. There's 2. It doesn't have to be exact. There's 3. That's looking pretty good. And then we'll need some for rolling. So I'm just going to set that out. Now eggs. So I'm going to put 3 eggs in. I'm going to whisk the eggs a little tiny bit. And then I'm going to start stirring in the flour. And I am using a fork. That's how my mom did it. But in a minute here, we're just going to use our hands. This is just to get it started. So, okay, now I've got it this far. There's still flour in there. That's fine. I don't need all of it. I'm just going to knead it on my counter a little bit. I can get more flour out of here. Not a big deal, see? So I'm going to knead it for a little bit just to incorporate and get it together, and then we're going to rest it. And this dough needs to rest for 10 or so minutes, and it will roll out better for you if you let it rest. If you don't let it rest and you try to roll it out, it's like rolling an elastic band. It's just going to go. You don't want to have that happen to you. So we're going to knead it for a minute. See, mine's a little dry. So I'm going to add a little tiny bit of water. When I say tiny, I mean I'm talking like that tiny, like just a little bit in my fingers. That's it. Because a little goes a long way in this. Oh, I might need a little more flour, so get a little more out of the bowl. Just because I'm going to stick a little. It's starting to get pretty tough, so it's time to rest it. Okay, so to rest it, we're going to wrap it in a piece of saran wrap. And just let it sit. It's just going to hang out right there. And in the meantime, I'm just going to scoop these over here out of the way. Let's check on our vegetables. See how we're doing. So I think we could probably add our potatoes now. Put that lid back on. So now, while this is resting, we're going to I got the chicken out and we're going to shred it up. Okay, now we've got our chicken shredded. See, here it is. That's just like 3 thighs and 1.5 chicken breasts is what I had that I had gotten out of the fridge today. So that's what we used. I'm going to add it to this in just a few minutes. Now we're going to roll out, because these have been resting that whole time. So these should be, there's little pieces of chicken on the counter. We don't want that. Okay, so I've washed my counter really good today. It's already been Cloroxed, cleaned down. I've cleaned it with water after that a few times to make sure there's no cleaner left, because nobody wants to eat cleaner. That's disgusting. So you get your little ball of stuff here. Put a little flour on it. Easy peasy. Everybody can make this. Everybody can. Little rolling pin here. You can use whatever rolling pin you got. This is what I have, so this is what I use. It gives you a good arm exercise. You can't push too hard or do too hard and fast because it makes my back hurt. So that didn't sound right. So anyways, sometimes it gets a little stuck. You have to have a little flour on top. And you roll them out as thick as you want yours. We do our noodles a little thicker in this house. We like them, I guess they're more like a dumpling. My noodles are. Okay. Now, when I cut my noodles, I use a pizza cutter because it's fast and easy. And I just cut them a couple inches wide. Long strips. And then you go the other way. Woo, that one was too thick. Any that are too thick? No, not really. Well, that one maybe. So we got our noodles. I like to sprinkle just a little bit more flour. Just a little bit, not a lot. And then I toss them around, and we're going to let them dry on the counter for a minute while I get the chicken broth ready. Because that broth that's from that chicken cooking, we're not going to waste it. We're going to use it. You're going to use it in this soup. And what's left, if I have leftover, I freeze it, and then I can use it in more soup of this kind. Or I can make egg drop soup or whatever you need chicken broth for, you can use it. So I freeze it in a little baggie. Or you can freeze it in a container. And see all that broth? Watch, watch. You gotta see this broth. It's really pretty when it comes out. It looks so good. And I'm gonna have leftover. So I will set it aside and I will drain it the rest of the way later. And I will use it in some other kind of soup. So that is 4 cups of broth right here that I'm going to add to this. But see, this is what do you call this thing? I don't know. It's an oil separator thingamajigger thingy. So the oil comes to the top, the broth goes to the bottom, and then it drains out the bottom. So, and I'm really particular. I like to use, oh, I forgot, I moved those. I like to use, don't laugh, but this little strainer, little tiny strainer, because in this, there's little pieces like that from the chicken that is coagulated juices and things from the chicken, and it can turn gray, kind of an off color. I mean, it doesn't matter, you can leave that in there, it won't hurt you. I just think it looks gross, so I strain it out because I'm picky. So now, woo, hot. We're gonna stir. Oh, that's looking beautiful. Looks so good. I'm so excited. It's turning out today. So now there's a little hole in the bottom here, and it just strains like this. Easy peasy. And when it gets about to that fat that rises to the top, we're going to stop the strainer. See? There's about 2 ounces of fat on that we just drained off, so that makes this healthier. You got all the flavor, none of the fat. And see, that's what I'm talking about. That's the stuff that comes off. And that's ew. So that I'm saving, I am going to strain it as well before I freeze it, because I don't want that in my stuff. So that's in there. And we're gonna add our chicken. And now, I probably did too much chicken. See, I did a lot of chicken. This is too much chicken, because this pot is only that full. It's a giant pot, but it's only that full. It's about the size of this pan that you would cook spaghetti noodles in. You know, the biggest pot that comes in the sizes when you buy them. But this one's taller. So I'm going to use about half of this chicken, maybe a little more than half. And I'm going to save the rest of this, and I'm going to make chicken salad for my family. Probably for my husband for lunch tomorrow, because Kendall likes chicken salad, and that's not too bad for you. So, but you could use that chicken in other things. You could freeze it, use it in soup later. You could use it in like buffalo chicken dip. You could use it for anything. You can make chicken sandwiches. You could put barbecue sauce on it and have it on a bun and have a barbecue chicken sandwich. So many things you can do with leftover chicken. And to cheat on this, you could use a rotisserie chicken. Shred the chicken off, put it in your chicken soup, and just flavor it with some chicken broth. Or, well, this isn't broth, this is bouillon. And you'd want to use that. Let's see, that's coming back to a boil. So while it's doing that, I'm going to, because we're going to put our noodles in, I'm going to get a little spoon. We're going to test the broth here and see how we're doing. So it might need more salt, pepper, might need more garlic or cayenne, it might need something. It might need more bouillon. So let's give it a good stir. We'll get us a little sample here. Excuse me. I gotta wash my hands now. You don't touch your face when you're cooking. Gross. Doesn't need anything. Yeah, maybe it does. Let's do 1 more teaspoon of bouillon. And that'll put us up to 6. So, see, I measured. I did. We're just gonna let that, and then we'll sample it again in just a minute. I gotta wash my hands. I've got stuff all over me. All right, let's see how we're doing. Starting to boil. It's good. Get our bouillon stirred in real good. Oh, that looks so good. Let me get a good scoop of this and show you. Now, I'm not making this for anybody else, just my family. So don't worry, nobody's gonna get any germs off of this bowl. But look at that broth. Let me see if I can show you the broth. Looks really good. Well, I don't know how to show you the broth. I'll bring it over. I'll show you the broth later. How about that? Okay, our soup has come back up to a boil. So now we're going to add these dumplings, aka egg noodles. We're going to add them one at a time. Because if you add them in a handful, it'll be one big gooey clump, and that's gross. Now, because my noodles are thicker, I usually give them 5-10 minutes to cook. They don't cook in, you know, a minute or two, because they are thick like that. Like, look at that. So you want to give it some time, but it really is going to be amazing. It's going to be so good. I'm so excited to try it. Oh yeah, see, look at this. Look how beautiful that's already looking. Oh, big scoops. So good. I'm gonna wipe up this counter and we'll dish some up in just a minute. Oh wow. Ooh, that looks good. We could turn that off. Oh yeah, that is perfect. Those are cooked perfect. They look so good. And I am very hungry. So I am looking forward to having a little dish of soup here. Let's see. I didn't get any chicken. Here, give me a piece of chicken. Okay. Let's see. Let's see how we did. Ooh. That is so good. So good. 10 out of 10. Yes, definitely 10 out of 10. I'm going to show you. I got to show you this. You got to see how good this soup looks. Look at this soup. Look how good it turned out. Isn't that pretty? It looks so good, doesn't it? Woo, we're fogging up the lens here. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed watching how to make chicken noodle soup, and I hope to make more videos of more things that I like to cook. And we'll talk to you later. Bye.